Hello everyone. Today we are going to discuss Our Casuarina Tree by Torudat, which is a part of the syllabus of BA third year of MGS University English Literature paper first. The poem Our Casuarina Tree by Torudat is about the casuarina tree that grew in the poetess courtyard and the memories of the poetess associated with that tree. It's a very touching and beautiful symbolic poem which harmonizes both matter and manner in accurate proportion. Before we proceed to the critical evaluation of the text of this poem, it is worthwhile here to get some information about the poetess, as the poem is subjective in its note and relates to the personal life of the poetess herself. Born in Calcutta in 1856, Torudat spent the major part of her life abroad. As a poet, she was deeply inspired by the English Romantic poets. She earned fame for her literary activities in spite of her premature death in the year 1877 at the very early age of 21 only. Torudat was undeniably the finest flower of Indian Renaissance. In spite of her short span of life, as a literary artist, she has left behind such a glorious legacy that even today we think of her as a marvelous young girl who died before her prime. Though she has short amount of writing to her credit, she has given the glimpse of her brilliance in early Indo-Anglian literature. Chronologically seen, she was the first woman writer in the history of Indo-Anglian literature and also amongst the first to realize and later on fill the much needed gap between the Eastern and the Western knowledge. Let us now proceed to discuss the poem itself. We will first discuss the overview of the poem. We will discuss its structure and then proceed to discuss its critical aspects, followed by our evaluation in the form of conclusion at the end. As mentioned earlier, Our Casuarina Tree celebrates a huge tree that the speaker associates with the happiness of her childhood in India. The speaker links the tree with the memory of her loved ones who are no more. The people who are mentioned in the poem probably are Torudat's dead siblings, her brother Abju and her sister Aru, with whom she has a girl child played beneath that casuarina tree, which grew outside her native home when they lived in India. Apparently, the tree is a fond memory of her distant childhood, about which the poetess is nostalgic today, and the poetess shares her feelings in the form of this poem that we have before us. The fact that the tree is associated with other persons is already foreshadowed in the poem's title through the use of word ours, our, in Our Casuarina Tree. The title implies that the poetess thinks of the tree as not simply hers, but as belonging to others too. The speaker's perspective is surely more than her own. The poem is set in a situation when the poetess is abroad, somewhere on the coasts of probably France or Italy, and is reminiscent about her childhood spent in her garden, playing with her friends and brothers under the casuarina tree. Here, the image of the tree arouses the nostalgic feelings and memory of the poetess. This is the tree under which, with her siblings, played. So, the very thought of the tree transported the poetess to her golden past days when she finds the joy of childhood, the joy of childhood innocence in the company of her loved ones, of course, her brother and sister.